Hey everybody, I'm Michael from Michael Strong Rubber Stamps. Today's project is inspired by my future daughter-in-law, Carrie. Now Carrie is sweet and cute and smart and crafty, which is, you know, talk about perfect for our family. So if there's something that she can make instead of buy, she'll do it. And when you come back, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So here's the inspiration for today's project. It's for my son and my future daughter-in-law's wedding reception. These are going to be on the tables at the dinner that they're going to be serving. And she can't have candles, real candles, so the paper worked out great. And as you can see, I have a lot of work ahead of me. But let's dim the lights a little bit and give you the full effect. Now, here's the one that we're making today. We're going to do graduated sizes of these three here. So let's get started with the project. For this one, we're going to use clear vellum instead of the green color vellum that we used for Carrie's lamps. What we're going to be using are these clever lever embossing leaf punches from Marvy Uchida. Just insert the paper and give it a punch and pull the paper out, and you'll see that punches a really nice leaf. Now, you can't quite see it yet, but it actually embossed the veins of the leaf right on there. Now, I've done quite a few of them here, as you can see. And they're pretty, but they don't look too interesting yet. So what I'm going to do is color these using the blending blocks from Marvy Uchida. Now, they come in a variety of colors, and as you can see, they're graduated tints from dark to light. And it gives a really nice effect. When you get these and open them up, you'll notice that there are little plastic dividers in between to keep the colors separated. You're going to want to take those out and discard them before you start using them. So here's one that I've already taken the little dividers out. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to hold it down with a pair of scissors and then start tapping. So you notice I'm putting the color on horizontally, because if I did it this way, I'd be contaminating the lighter color up here with the darker color from the page. So I don't want to mix those colors up onto the pad. So we'll just kind of continue. Now you can see a little bit of the veins coming out here, but it's not quite dark enough for my taste yet. So what I did was inked it first in the lighter color, and then I'm going to bring in a darker color. And the darker color is going to kind of highlight all those little veins that you see there. In this case, I'm using the shades of green. Now you don't want to press too hard doing this, but you'll notice that it just picks up the tops of the leaves like that. Now this being vellum, it takes a little bit longer to dry than regular paper because it's more of a plastic than a paper. But they eventually will dry because this is a dye-based ink, and it will work perfectly well with the vellum. Now I've made quite a few of them here. I want to show you kind of the result of what I've made. You can see how pretty they are, and they do look very natural with the variation of color. All right, so we've got our leaves, but now we need the lantern itself. And what I've done is taken some regular vellum paper, and this came in 8.5 by 11 inch sheets, and I just cut them up like the one we're going to make today. This is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's going to make kind of a tall lantern. So I'm going to add some more color to this to give it a little bit more interest as well. So I'm going to take the blending blocks again, and I'm going to go right across the bottom of the vellum. Now, because the vellum has certain properties that resist the ink, it gives me plenty of time to kind of mix the color right on the paper. So what I'm going to do is use the stipple brush from Marvy Uchida. Now these are great brushes, and they come in a variety of sizes. And I'm going to kind of blend that color up into the middle of the lantern. And you can just kind of brush it on any way you like. Now if it's not quite the color you're going for, no problem. You can go ahead and blend another color right over the top of that. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to add a little orange into this one. And I'm going to use the darker edge of the orange this time and go right across the bottom. And this is going to warm up that look a little bit. Once again, I'm going to take my stipple brush and just blend. This gives a really pretty graduated look, especially with the candle inside. So here I have 3 of the lanterns done in various sizes. This one's the 5.5 inches that we started with. This one's 4 and this one's 2.5. Gives it a nice variation of height when you put the 3 together. All right, so to make the lantern, we're going to use some double-sided tape to put it together. So get a nice long piece of double-sided tape, and you're going to take it and put it right at the edge of the paper. Now it's going to kind of overlap the edges, top to bottom, which is not a problem because we're just going to cut that off. There and there. If you don't get it all, you can always just kind of tuck it under like that. Now here's a little trick to get it matched up perfectly. Turn it over, and you notice that I have the double-sided tape up here. You can flatten that right out, and then flatten the other side out too with your thumbs, and just kind of line it up like this until it touches the tape, and then kind of release the pressure on your thumbs, and it will hold together like that. So there's the basic lantern, and of course, you know, we can't do anything simple. We have to keep adding a little something to it, and in this case, we're going to add some leaves. So what I'm going to do is take 3 of the little leaves here that I've colored, and I'm going to put a little bit of this glue marker right on the back. You can kind of mimic the leaves if you like. And then just stick them on, hold them in place for a minute. You can kind of put your thumb underneath to kind of press it in place. And use a variety, you use some different ones. And this one's a little bit darker, so I'll put this one in the middle. And also, you want to make sure that you glue on the side that you did not color. You want to make sure that the glue goes on the back. There's the second one, and one more at the top. That's how it's going to look, and when you put it on top of a candle, it's pretty darn spectacular. I love the way it looks. Now, I'd like to show you a couple of variations that I did. Now, if you don't want to do leaves, there's a lot of other things you could do. You can tell that I've done some embossing on this one, and I think it looks pretty spectacular too. But if you want to take it one step further, all you have to do is, before you put the candle together, go ahead and turn it over, and you can color right on the back, and you can see that I've done one of the images already. These are the Plume II Markers from Marvy Uchida. These are great. I've got every single one of them. It's pretty cool because it's got a brush marker on one side, and then it's got a fine tip on the other for doing detail, which is great for the gecko's little tootsies here. Now you can see how by coloring the background, it really adds another dimension to this. I really like the way it looks. So here are our 3 original lanterns that we made. Now if you didn't want to do this color palette, you can do a variation. And for the variation I want to show you here, I used the Marvy Uchida Clever Lever embossing punch with a different leaf shape. And this is more of a summery look. And you can tell how pretty that looks. It would look really nice on a summertime table. So of course I got the whole family involved making these lanterns, and my wife Carla came up with this next one. What about this? Is that the cutest thing ever? She made it for a Hawaiian luau theme. And of course here's that little punch that I couldn't find out what to do on my heavy metal episode, but Carla found something perfect for it and she decorated the lantern with it. So I hope you find that these projects are illuminating. I know, grown. But they're easy, they're fun, and you have to admit everybody looks better in candlelight, even if it is an electric candle. See you next time.
For step-by-step instructions on how to create this week's project, download the design guide featuring special make-it-your-own bonus tips.